Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Data's in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauvin, and I'm the founder of Data's in Control. So today I wanted you to take just a quick second to consider something. I want you to think really hard about this just for a minute. What in your life do you avoid? Do you avoid having that difficult conversation with your wife because you're afraid what she's going to answer or say? Or do you avoid opening your credit card bills because you're maxed out? Or maybe your bank accounts. Do you avoid looking at your balances because you're in overdraft? Avoidance is a behavior that we all exhibit in our life in some way or another. Some people call it resistance, other people call it other words, but it's all the same thing. It usually stems around excuses and stories that we tell ourselves. And these stories are typically lies to keep us safe, to keep us from achieving something or doing something that we probably should be doing nonetheless. There are a few famous examples of avoidance that we can all relate with. Oh, it's raining outside. I really don't want to go for a run now. Or, I'm too tired to go to the gym. Those are two specific examples that apply to just about everyone at some point in their life. But with me, let me tell you a story about how resistance nipped me in the ass just recently. So yesterday, I was opening a cupboard to get some cereal out for one of my kids, and the cupboard door popped off in my hand. So, rewind a couple of months, and I had noticed that the top hinge had been broken. So, me being kind of in the middle of a few things, I just Band-Aid repaired it. And well, I guess I'm kind of sorry for doing that now, because yesterday I had to take a lot of time out. I had to go to the store. I had to buy 2 new hinges. I had to re-drill the hinges. I had to make it all fit nicely. It was just a pain in the ass. But because I didn't confront the situation, I didn't take care of the situation properly the first time around, it sure did bite me in the ass. So you see, I'm definitely not perfect. Now, this isn't the only example of resistance or avoidance in my life, but it's the most recent thing that I could think of at the time. Avoidance is like a language. Resistance is like a language. You need to, in order to get around this resistance or the avoidance, you have to listen to what you're saying to yourself. Listen to how you talk to yourself. If you're saying, I don't really feel like doing that right now because, chances are you should be doing it right now. The way to get through the avoidance and the way to get around it, or the way to get by it, is to listen to what you say and consider, just for that 1 second, what it is that you're saying and if it's an excuse or a story or not. This definitely takes a little bit of practice, but after a little bit, you should be able to recognize the resistance in your life, but not always. The next ninja tip in order to get around resistance in your life is a little bit trickier, but it's what I found to be the most effective way. You see, in my life, I've really put a lot of thought and effort into the direction and where I'm going, and I take it very seriously. I have 10-year goals, 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goals, even broken down to 90-day goals, 60-day goals, and 30-day goals. So this direction of my life, this way that I'm forming, this path that I've created, helps me get through all of my resistance. Because if I have somewhere that I need to be in 90 days, if I need to be X person in 90 days, chances are then I really got to get my act together. I really got to take action. So there's not a lot of time to waste. Can't skip the workouts, because in 90 days, to affect dramatic change in your life, you really have to take action. So, you really force yourself through by definitive action, by knowing the direction of your life, by taking the time out to realize who you are, where you want to go, and where you want to be. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brian, not everyone has the willpower to go through with this. Well, I beg to differ, because willpower is a relative topic. If you really know where you want to go in your life, and you really know why you want to go there and who you have to be, if you've really done that work and you figured out why it matters to you, then you'll move a mountain in order to get there. A wise man once told me, a motivated man will move a mountain with a shovel. And that's true, because when you figure out what it is that you want to do and why it is that you want to do it, and you really dive deep into these desires, then you will get up, you will go in the rain for a run, you will take that decisive action. And that's what it is, folks. It's decisive action. It's having the conversation with your wife. It's opening and confronting the credit cards. It's dealing with the problems before they become problems. That's the trick. That's the secret. You see, in life, we avoid things that are hard, and we avoid things that we know are going to be problematic. The problem is when we don't open a credit card bill or a bank statement or a monthly house bill. That compiles and that situation gets worse. So 2 months down the road, you have yellow envelopes now with urgent written on them. And then these problems become big. And then all of a sudden your $50 bill is $400. And now you really can't pay it. Now you're really screwed. You see, folks, the more you put something off, the worse it's going to get. And that goes with relationship conversations. That goes with just about everything in life. You see, my wife always says, what you resist will persist and get bigger and worse. Well, that's true. It's absolutely true. And it's taken me a long time to actually come to the realization that all of the resistance and all of the pressure in my life has been because I've avoided things. So the tip and the message for the day is to confront. Have the power, have the knowledge, have the certainty in your life to confront the issues that come up before they become monsters, before they become huge problems. Because that's how you get ahead. That's how powerful people deal with these situations. The other message hidden inside this podcast is take the time out to do the work and figure out the direction of your life. Figure out who you want to be, where you want to be, what you want to be doing in all aspects of your life. Maybe you want to make a life change. Maybe you want to get a different house. Maybe there's all sorts of different scenarios. But you have to look at yourself. Where do you want to be financially, in your relationships, relationship with yourself? Do you want to live in Spain on the water and drink coffee all day? Or do you want to live in southern Florida? Or do you want to have a Fortune 500 company? Or, there's any endless number of situations. But folks, the important thing is take the time out and do the work to get to know you and to get to know where you want to go and who you want to be. Because that direction, that drive from that direction will help you get there. So that's the message for today, guys. That's what I've put out to say. If this is a message and a conversation that you want to continue having, don't be afraid to join our private Facebook group. It's totally free. Get in there with a bunch of like-minded individuals. Guys that you can ask for advice, guys that are talking about different situations, guys that you can give advice to. To join our Facebook group, head on over to dadisincontrol.com and click the button to join our Facebook group. Secondly, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this podcast. Head into iTunes or your podcast app and rate and review this podcast. By reading and reviewing it, it gives us exposure to deliver our message to other men that could benefit from this. And last but not least, finally, we have opened the application process for the coaching in Dadas in Control. So if you have an area in your life that you want to improve, if you want to get to know who you are, if you want to become a better version of you, maybe you've lost yourself, maybe you don't know how to communicate how to communicate with your wife, and your marriage is in shambles. Do you want to get a better marriage? Do you want to improve your relationship with your kids? Do you want to improve your relationship with yourself? Do you want to become fitter? Do you want to become an overall better version of you? To get your life back in order? To improve your life in very specific areas? We can help. Head on over to dadisincontrol.com/start. Fill out the application. That application is going to prompt a phone discussion with us to see what your goals are, where you want to go, who you want to be, what areas in your life you want to level up or you need to improve. This phone call is 100% confidential, 100% discreet. Don't be afraid to reach out. Have the discussion that you want to have. Have the discussion that you desire, because you are worth it, because you can do this. And that's it. So thank you all for listening, and until next time, we'll see you on the inside of the group.